welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today we're diving straight into an incredibly intense story called The Courier and the Cape. So let's just step right into this world.
You know, Marcus Cole was nobody special, and honestly, he completely loved it that way. He's 34 years old, working as a logistics courier. He's got a wife named Elena, an 8-year-old dinosaur-obsessed son named Jaden, and a 2-year-old daughter, Lily. Every single morning he loads boxes. Every evening he comes home to his small, quiet, absolutely perfect world. And right before he leaves for work, Jaden always shoves a crayon drawing into his dad's pocket. It's this lopsided little figure in a cape with the words "Tired Super Dad" scrawled in purple crayon. A tired superhero?
But then we hit Thursday. At noon, Marcus picks up a plain brown crate labeled Vargas Doc 7. His system glitches out, but he's in a hurry, so he loads it anyway. Then, sitting at a red light on Mercer Street, the crate shifts, the lid actually cracks open. And staring up at him? Yeah, those are definitely not auto parts. We're talking vacuum-sealed bricks of white powder, banded stacks of $100 bills, and a cheap burner phone. His stomach completely drops. He reaches for his own phone to dial 911, and right at that exact second, the burner rings.
He answers it on pure dumb reflex. I mean, wouldn't you? A calm, almost bored voice on the other end just says, "Vargas, you're late." The meeting moved up. Warehouse 19. Click. Marcus is just frozen. And then he checks his rearview mirror. A black SUV has been trailing his van. It pulls up alongside him, and this heavily scarred guy named Diego rolls down the tinted window and says, "Vargas, you look different." Marcus's throat is like sand. If he denies who he is, they'll know he opened the crate. They'll know he saw the product. So, swallowing his absolute terror, he plays along. In that moment, he becomes Vargas.
Chapter 1, Warehouse 19. Picture this. It's this cavernous, rusted metal nightmare smelling of diesel and old blood. A dozen heavily armed men are just lining the walls. And right at the center, sitting on a folding chair like a king on a throne, is Raul Santos, El Jefe. His silver hair is slicked back, and he's just casually eating segments of an orange with a pocket knife. He smiles at Marcus, exactly like a cat eyeing a mouse. Raul just looks up, literally with juice still on his chin, and says, "You missed the last 2 shipments. I was beginning to think you were dead." And then he slides a glossy photograph across the cold metal table.
Marcus looks down at this photo, and the ground just completely drops out from under him, because the face staring back, it's almost exactly his face. Same build, same jaw, same dark hair. But the real Vargas, he has these incredibly cold, empty eyes. Marcus is standing there staring at a man he's never met in his life, realizing his own survival completely depends on mimicking those dead eyes. So he forces his voice to stay steady and says, "The shipment is handled." Raul just smiles and tells him that tonight he's going to be moving the product through the harbor, personally.
Moving into Chapter 2, The Harbor Job. The rest of the night is just a blur of heavy crates, blinding floodlights, and black water. Marcus is sweating entirely through his shirt, fumbling around with a clipboard. And Diego? Diego is watching his every single move from the shadows, noticing how badly Marcus's hands are shaking. Diego even catches a quick glimpse of a text popping up on Marcus's phone from Elena, asking where he is. Diego's scarred eyebrow twitches. He's definitely suspicious now. The tension here is just absolutely suffocating. Then, about an hour later, Raul summons Marcus to a small concrete back office, and this is the gut punch. Pinned to the wall right behind Raul's desk are surveillance photos. Elena hanging laundry, Jaden walking out of school, little Lily in her stroller, all of them taken that very same day. With ice in his veins, Marcus realizes the horrifying truth. The real Vargas didn't have a family.
Raul leans in close. That whole friendly facade just completely vanishes from his face. He says, "Because if anything goes wrong tonight, I'd hate for little Jaden to lose his father." And you know what makes it so terrifying? It wasn't delivered as some angry, shouting threat. It was a promise, delivered with the casual, breezy warmth of a guy just discussing the weather. Raul essentially forces Marcus into one final job the next day at the Railyard. Make the exchange and he can take his family and disappear. Marcus just nods, his hands trembling, thinking about that little crayon drawing tucked away in his pocket.
Chapter 3, The Disposable Vargas. So Marcus finally gets home at 2 in the morning. He creeps in, checks on his sleeping wife and kids, gently brushing the hair from his son's forehead. Then, completely desperate, he sits down at his kitchen laptop in the dark and searches for the real Vargas. And what he finds? Well, it changes everything.
According to a digital news clipping, the real Vargas was actually found dead in a motel room 6 weeks ago. But wait, it gets so much wilder. Vargas wasn't just some cartel associate. He was an undercover DEA agent, killed right in the middle of an operation.
So you gotta ask yourself, why on earth use a fake Vargas? The horrifying reality is that Raul had known Marcus was an imposter from the very second he walked into Warehouse 19. He played along because he needed a disposable Vargas, a fall guy, just a dead courier that no one would mourn, perfectly set up to take the absolute brunt of the blame if this massive final exchange went sideways. Marcus is literally just a lamb dressed in a stranger's skin.
Chapter 4. The Railyard Trap. We are at the final exchange. The whole place is lit up by these harsh halogen floodlights. Raul's heavily armed men are absolutely everywhere. The buyer, a sharp-featured woman named Catalina, arrives on the scene. Crates are rolling out, massive amounts of cash are rolling in. And Marcus is just standing right in the middle of it all, feeling like an absolute ghost, basically just waiting for the ground to swallow him whole.
Out of nowhere, his pocket vibrates. It's an unknown number on his actual phone. He answers it, and this tight, super urgent voice speaks up. "I'm DEA, Agent Torres. I've been watching you for 36 hours. Walk away now." The DEA. They've been watching from the shadows this entire time, just waiting to sweep up everyone. Agent Torres quickly tells him his family was extracted an hour ago. They are in protective custody. They are totally safe, but if Marcus runs right now, he'll be treated as an accessory to the cartel.
Marcus slowly looks over at Raul, who is just smiling and counting stacks of cash. And then, completely out of left field, Diego pulls his gun, but he doesn't point it at Marcus. He points it dead squarely at Raul. "You were going to sell me out, old man," Diego snarls, having just realized that Raul gave his name up to the buyers. Before Raul can even finish a sentence, Diego shoots him right in the shoulder.
And just like that, pure, unfiltered chaos completely explodes. Gunfire erupts from literally every single direction. The DEA tactical teams start breaching and rappelling down from the catwalks. Raul's men are wildly returning fire. Marcus dives headfirst behind a rusted boxcar spitting gravel, and right in the middle of this madness he watches Catalina, the buyer, violently rip off her wig and pull out a badge. The buyer was undercover too. This entire deal was a carefully constructed cage from the start, and Marcus was just a poor worm wiggling on the hook.
Back behind the boxcar, Diego finds Marcus. Diego is bleeding profusely. His eyes are completely wild. He grabs Marcus by the collar and says, "You're not Vargas. I knew it. The way you looked at that kid's drawing in the van." He recognized Marcus's humanity. Diego shoves a gun into Marcus's chest, tells him to run to his family, and then turns back around. Diego actually sacrifices his own life right there, screaming and drawing the tactical fire, buying Marcus those precious few seconds he needs to escape into the dark.
Chapter 5. A Cape of Chains. Marcus just runs. He runs until his lungs are absolutely burning, finally collapsing in a dark, rain-slicked alley behind a dumpster. His phone rings again. It's Elena. She's crying, telling him the kids are scared and that little Jaden just wants to know where his superhero went. Marcus's voice completely shatters as he tells her how much he loves them, and then he steps out into the street, raising his hands, surrendering to the blinding headlights of Agent Torres' approaching car.
Cut to this cold, sterile, fluorescent-lit interrogation room. Marcus gives them everything. He gives up Raul's entire network. He signs an 8-year plea deal to ensure that his family gets new identities in a new city, completely safe from any cartel retaliation. And as a single tear tracks down his exhausted face, he makes one final request to Agent Torres. "Please, tell Jaden the superhero wasn't tired. He was just protecting the world from the other side for a while." Fast forward 3 months. Elena's standing in a brightly lit kitchen in a town whose name Marcus is literally never going to know. She pins a brand new drawing to the fridge. Jaden has drawn a stick figure dad standing behind bars wearing a cape made entirely of chains, but the chains are breaking. Reaching through the bars, the dad's hand touches a smaller stick figure's hand. And at the bottom, in those wobbly purple letters, it reads, "See you soon, Dad." And 400 miles away, there's Marcus. He's sitting alone on a concrete bench in a gray prison yard. He reaches into his jumpsuit and pulls out that original, faded, heavily creased crayon drawing. He smooths it flat against his chest, closes his eyes, and just breathes. He was nobody special. And you know what? That was more than enough. As we wrap up this explainer, the question we really want to leave you with is this: when the chains of consequence bind us, what makes someone truly super? Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey, and I will see you all in the next explainer.